Hopefully you guys can see me okay. I have my camera mounted. And I'm answering. I have my little laptop to the left here. So hopefully I can see all your questions and stuff like that. I'm trying to see here. And I'm answering. I have my little laptop to the left here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to pull up the live chat so I can see any questions. I'm sorry, I'm just using my cell phone for right now. Let me switch it here. Try to give it up. Well, hopefully you guys can see that better. Sorry, it wouldn't let me switch to my back. Oh, here we go. Sorry. This is the first time I've tried to broadcast with on you now here. There. Let's switch here. Yeah, let's do that. That should be much better. Alright, sorry, I'm utilizing my stove hood here. Where'd it go? We're getting it. I had it all set up there earlier, but oh, much better. You guys can see much better now. Okay. Alright, hopefully, hello. Alright, hopefully you guys can see okay. Looks a little blurry, but there we go. Alright, so I went ahead and already mixed my paints and have the pours ready to dump. But I wanted to show you a few of the little mini canvases I've done as like testers recently. This is probably one of my favorites. I don't know why. I just love the colors on it. It's got some sparklies and stuff. This is all done with acrylic paint and pouring medium. And sometimes I'll put additives like shimmers or glitters in it, but I'm going to skip the glitters today. As I haven't found a really good UV coating to put on top of these that will give it a nice thick coat that isn't crazy. I may have found one. I'm testing it now. It's drying in the oven with my painting from this morning. Let me get that one out so I can show you guys. I had a couple requests for colors tonight. Teal and gold, and then peach, turquoise, and pink. This is the one I did this earlier today. It's still drying. Sorry if I can get it up there so you guys can kind of look at it. Kind of really see the color. My favorite I've done so far. I really love how the neon colors popped in that. I tend to put my paintings in my oven to dry. If I don't, the cats kind of get them. Alright, so I'm going to do the two little ones first. Arlene, if you're here, I'm going to pour the one that you requested first. You can see here I've got the pink, peach, and teal kind of in here. I'm just going to kind of mix it up just a little bit. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. You'll see here, this is a little thicker than I usually pour, but I wanted to kind of play today a little bit because some of the other artists said if you pour a little thicker, sometimes you'll get some bigger cell creation. So I'm kind of excited about that. I have my little palette knife here. Got some rags to the side. I picked up some other tools too that I might play with later. I'm just going to do a flip cup method for this one. That's where you just put the cup underneath and then you're going to flip it. I put these little push pins on the bottom though, so it'll set level and I can pick it up easier to manipulate it. So now we're going to flip it. Move my thing there. I'm going to kind of do this really quick to just kind of coat the base. So I find if I do this first, the paint moves around a little easier for me. All right, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, this is going to be pretty, Arlene. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Good choice on color, girl. And then we're just kind of pouring it back and forth to kind of see what we've got here. I'm going to go and pick up some of the stuff on the sides. Is there anything I want to, maybe, I don't like how light that is, so I'm just going to lay this over drip. There's a little more color there. And then I use my palette knife here to kind of scoop up the design, and I'm going to lay it onto the edges of the canvas here. So my edges are covered. You don't have to cover them if you want. You can leave the drip marks and stuff. I just personally, I really like them covered. I like that continuation of design. I really like the softness of these colors. They're going right now. Oops, sorry. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see my little balding head. Oh, here we go. They kind of remind me of aspects a little bit of Camille D'Erico's paintings. A lot of hers have this kind of paint pour effects, like the women she has in her paintings. A lot of times, like inside of the apples or the backgrounds will have that, or their hair. And it's just, it really inspires me in a lot of ways. I have several of her prints around the house right now. I really like them. So as I'm looking at it, I'm kind of seeing what I like, and going in and editing and adding colors in where I think it's just needs a little balance, because some spots are a little lighter than I'd like. And, yeah, that's nice. And then I'm going to go grab a little bit more. Kind of go over here and pull it. There we go. I'm going to wipe my palette knife off so it doesn't interfere with the next. Oh, I missed this spot. There we go. Alright, and I'm going to show you as well what torching your paintings can do too, because if you are having trouble getting these little colored cells to pop up with just the silicone and water and pouring medium, you can use a torch and it will kind of help bring some more up. And I'm just using like a creme brulee torch. I'm going to torch this again. I'm going to turn it down so it's not so hot. I don't want it to burn my paint or bubble it. You can see how right here all those little bumps just came up, and then you kind of hold it far away, and then you see a little more. I don't want to do too much because I really like it so far, but I want a little bit of interest. But I'm just using a butane torch with like a little torch head on it. It comes off, and you can pop in the other torch heads. But that's the first. And let me see if I can get it up here to you without dropping it and ruining it, so you guys can get a closer look. I don't know, is it too far? Let me get here. It's like trying to back up an RV or something. There we go. So you can kind of see there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on the people watching, and then any questions that come up. If I miss anything, I'm so sorry. I will go back and edit it later. Let me see here. Let's see if I can pull it up there. If you're watching on YouTube, I don't have that pulled up right now. It should be live broadcasting to YouTube as well, but I'm not really sure if it's actually doing that or not. It should be, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and pop this one onto my drying tray in the oven, and we're going to move on to the next funky one I have here, which is, I'm going to do another small one first, and that's going to be in purple, green, teal, white, and pink, and orange. And then I have the teal, gold, and green one that was requested. that I'm going to do on an 8x8. For right now, I'm just doing a couple little 4x4s. And I'm going to leave this paint here for right now because I may want to use it on this next painting because it uses similar color family. But when we're done with the second little one, I'm probably going to wipe it up because I don't want it to get intermixed with this other color palette I've got going on. And then again, I've just got the little push pins on the back. So right here. And in this one, you can kind of see, I don't use a ton of orange. Orange and yellows can really overtake, this pouring effects. I had one that I really loved that was really teal and blues and really pretty colors, and I had a little pops of the orange in there, and it was so pretty. And then by the time it all dried, a lot of the orange seeped up in it, the whole painting, and it kind of lost that nice green. It's still really pretty, but it's not what I wanted. So this one just has a very little bit of orange in it, and I'm really not sure how this is going to go, but we're going to see. You can kind of see on the popsicle stick here. Oops, where's it at here? There we go. If it all, come on. You can kind of see the effects it's already getting. A little bit, sorry guys. It's kind of cool. But since we're already getting some effects, I'm just gonna kind of, oh sorry, that's my door locking itself. I have it set on a timer so I don't forget. I'm just putting a little bit of paint smeared it on there. Not pretty or anything, but it just helps the paint flow to get your effects later. Let's see here. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, it is kind of like a unicorn rainbow. Okay, do you guys want me to do another flip cup, or do you want me to do one where I pour it and draw it on there? What do you guys think? Flip or pour? Alright, we'll do another flip then. Oops. Didn't mean to do that, but that's alright. Okay, got it centered on there. I'm going to kind of flip it twice here. Sometimes you get crazier reactions. We'll see. Ooh, it's looking good. Woo! Look at that. Trippy. Oh, that is trippy as hell. Oh, I love it. I don't lose all that beautifulness. Oh, I love these crazy colors I've been doing lately. I just need something bright and happy in my life, and this is definitely, I'm getting really good cell creation on this one. I will say right now I switched, and I'm actually using a different silicone in this than what I've been using on my previous paintings. What I find is when you use the aerosol silicones, the texture of those have to be thinner than the bottled. Let me grab it here. Than the bottled silicone, and the spray silicones are going to give you smaller cells, but stuff that's in a bottle like this, this 3-in-1, because it doesn't have to be thinned down as much to go through the fine aerosol mist, you get these better cells. And I wasn't getting anything like these before until I switched to this other silicone. So that's another thing to keep in mind too. While they do work, the spray silicones like WD-40 and Liquid Wrench, they do work, and they work. You can get beautiful paintings, and I've gotten some really gorgeous ones out of it. It just isn't going to give you the same kind of cell creation as this. A lot of people wonder what my background is. I have a degree in fine art. I graduated from college in 2000 with a fine art degree. I studied mostly photography and ceramics and graphic design, but I did a lot of painting as well. And because we covered a little bit of everything, but I took a lot of painting classes, a lot of ceramic classes. I've always done just a little bit of everything art-wise. It's something that I've just always been kind of drawn to. I've played music. I'm kind of going to try to get that little cell onto this painting here, because there's kind of funky colors. See how I'm just kind of leaving it in there a little bit? I don't know, but we'll see. Because I didn't really like that big, huge clump of white that was there. Let's get a little bit of that in there. I'm just kind of picking up little pieces and dotting them where I'd like, but I'm loving this. So I'm going to tip it a little bit to, I don't want to lose this, but I'm really not liking this. So let's see if we can adjust that and pull. All right, let me see if I have any other, let's see what other cells I have here I can pull up. Maybe that'll work. Okay. That's a little better. That makes it better. All right. Sorry, when I'm thinking, I don't talk a whole lot. So there we go. And I'm going to torch, especially this area here, because I really want that to do something else to make it a little more interesting, because we've got all these bright colors here. And then this side here, we've got some really cool stuff here. But this is just kind of, I'm just going to put it on real low. There we go. See that purple that just popped up and then that teal is popping through? That's more interesting. There we go. But I'm not going to torch this side here because I really like that. I really, really like that. Okay. We actually have a little bit left in here. But I don't want to... maybe. Let's see what we can get here. I'm going to pour that little bit of white off. Let's see there. I'm just not super stoked with this yet. I like there we go. Awesome. I don't know. I don't really like that so much, so let's just tip it to there. Oh, that's more interesting. There we go. That's all we need to do is just pour it off. And then we get this little bit here that was hiding underneath. That's the fun thing about this. You never know what's going to quite be there. All right. So I think this one's at a good stopping point. I don't want to mess with it too much more. So I'm going to pop this in the oven too, and then we're going to go on to the one that has teal and gold. In the teal and gold one, I have a little bit of black, teal, some lime green, some orangey yellow, and white. The black that I have in there is kind of, I actually used a Payne's gray along with a color shift black I picked up at Michael's. Let me clean up this paint here. And I'm actually going to scoop it into this because not that I'm going to do anything with it, but you never know when you might want to do just a leftover flip and see what happens. It's probably just going to be mud, but you never know because there's a lot of extra paint here. I usually don't quite pour this much extra, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty to go down the sides of those thicker canvases because the ones I'm using tonight are gallery wraps that are about 1.5 inches thick. Okay, so I have that cleaned up for the most part. Wipe that off. And wipe this off so we don't get that. I'm using a Chuck's pad in the vinyl backside. So when I'm mixing and stuff, I have the vinyl down, and then when I pour, I like to flip them over and use the vinyl side. So stuff comes off and wipes up easy. Alrighty. So set that back there. And now we're going to go on to the 8x8. I haven't done this color mix before. I've done similar, but not quite that exact mix. I didn't put much black in this at all, because black can kind of take over everything too. But as it's been sitting here, you can kind of see that there's already reactions going on the top. So I'm really excited to see what it's gonna do. It's you can kind of see the gold. If it all come up here, you can kind of see the Sorry. Come on. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. Right there. You can kind of see the shimmers in there. Stuff already. So I'm excited about that. So I'm just going to take it and kind of wet this down a bit. So the paint will move nice. I really find that this does help. Sometimes I'll just put some white down. Other times I'll use black, or I'll just take the flipped cup and do like I did on that first one where I just kind of draw it around. On a bigger canvas like this though, I just kind of want to take my time, and I don't want to mess with it too much. Hopefully I've got enough paint in here. This is a 5-ounce cup. The little ones I used on little paintings were 3, and they were filled about 2 ounces. This one was filled pretty much to 5 ounces. Ooh, there we go. Oh, pretty. I'm going to set this over here, so if we need some extra paint. Another thing I like about these plastic acrylic cups is the paint really comes off of it. It doesn't really want to soak in. We got a lot of really pretty stuff going on here. Good call, whoever suggested the teal and gold. I like it. It's really pretty. And I'm using golden paint. They're gold. I really like that. I tried using some Artist Loft paints and stuff for the blacks and the whites, but I'm finding that they just don't give me, their binders are just not good enough, and they tend to really pull apart and break down when you're doing the pulling and tipping method. They just don't hold up very well, and that makes me sad because they're really, really reasonably priced. If you're doing very small paintings, you'll probably be just fine. But if you're doing anything really big or with a lot of manipulation, you're going to want to invest in some better quality paints. Now, honestly, not all craft store paints are bad. I mean, are unusable quality. The Americana paints that Michaels carries are great. I actually use their neons and I love them. And Folk Art makes some wonderful paints. They're actually the ones that make the Duo Shift paint that shifts colors, kind of like dichroic glass does. Not to quite that extent, but it's very similar. Let's see who else. I picked up cheap paint. I'm trying to think what other budget brands I've picked up. My favorites to use, actually, I like Home Depot. I go and get their samples. I'm going to try some Sherwin-Williams this week to see if they can color match the neon, because I'd like to use a little bit thicker bodied neon if I can find it, but Home Depot doesn't have the color abilities to do that, because I took it in to get color matched today and they were not able to, which made me very sad. Now I'm loving what this painting is doing right now, but I'm going to tip it this way a little bit because I want that gray corner to kind of push that other green down. Oh, come on. Oh, no, I don't want to lose it though. So back this way. Pull it. Alright. And I'm liking this a lot so far. This is a great combo. Thank you, whoever suggested this. I'm really loving it. And I like getting requests because, I always get kind of drawn to the same thing, and I like trying new things. So when you guys ask me to do something, I'm going to try it a lot of times. Oops, sorry. Got to focus there. Come on. Well, hopefully it'll come back in focus here in a minute. I was tapping the screen, but it's not. Come on. Alright, I think we got it back. Alright, now time for the torchy torch. Alright. I'm not going to hold it very close or it'll kind of overdo it and cook your paint. That is not what we're doing. And these will sit there and change too over the next, while it's drying, it'll change quite a bit. So nice. Alright. So that's looking nice. I like it. Let me see if I can hold this up here for you guys to see. I've been wanting to do, hopefully I don't drop it. Been wanting to do a green theme. So you guys can see it here. And see all the little cells and all that fun stuff. And I'll try to get some macros of these too after we're done with the broadcast. All right. It does kind of look like the bullseye glass, yeah. And some of the Kokomo. Anybody? Oh, hi, Mohammed. I have a lot of photo clients. I'm a photographer full time, and a lot of my photo clients are from the Middle East, and India both. I get a lot of people from Saudi Arabia, Iran, and all that. Let's see, let's get it back in focus here. Anybody else have any questions about these? Mixed up for tonight. I did you. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get the focus back up. Get it. There we go. Anybody else have any questions or? Let's see. Oh, thanks for the bar, Sarah. Thanks, Khan. I don't get on here too very often. But anybody have any questions about? I know I wish if I had more paint mixed up, I could sit here and do this literally all day long. It makes me so happy. It's ridiculous. Like, there's such a peacefulness that comes with it, and I love experimenting too. And the experimentation and stuff like that, it just fills my heart, you know. I think this worked out really well not using a full out black, because usually if I would use black, it kind of goes all muddy and gross, and this is just making my day. And I love photographing these when they're wet, because they have this depth and beauty to them when they're wet that is really hard to recapture once they're dry. They're still really beautiful when they dry, but until you get them nice and varnished, like this one, since it doesn't have glitter, still retained a lot of, let me see here, a lot of the detail, which is awesome and I love. But like this other one that's one of my favorites, it's really hard to see all the detail because the varnish I have on here right now, or the UV protectant, it doesn't really cover the glitter, and so you lose some of the depth. So until I can find a medium where I can put on there, which I think I found one today, actually from, I was testing one from Golden, and it seems to be working really well. I put it on this one that had glitter. This one was just a leftover pour, but it had glitter on it, and I wanted to see before I put it on my final paintings how it worked. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and sign in and ask away. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast because I don't want to meander and, you know, bore people too much. Oh, come on. Let's see if we can get it to focus back again. No? All right. Alright guys, well next time I'll see you again, maybe tomorrow. I have some photo shoots in the morning tomorrow, but maybe later on we'll be able to do a little more painting. And even as we're sitting here, I don't know if you guys have seen how all these little cells have popped up, especially all these little white ones. And it looks like there's, I think we're going to get a lot more color up from that white, because white's one of the more denser colors, so it's going to want to sink. And I don't know if you can kind of see in between here how it's kind of getting dark in the middle of those little light cells. I think the color might pop right back up through that. So it'll be interesting to see once this is dried completely where it's going to go. I'm really excited. Alright guys, well it was wonderful seeing you guys and painting for you guys tonight. And hopefully I can do some more of these for you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.